everybody, Zavzen here. Welcome back to the Momentum Tribe Mojo Show. We are back and we are going to rock today's show out. But before that, I have to bring on my co-host, Kim Kasparian. Hello. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I am doing great. This is exciting. We're back. We rocking it out. This is the month of May, the month that we celebrate our moms, right, Kim?
Yeah, we do. Absolutely.
You're a mom to Kira.
I'm a mom to my kitty Kira and my nieces and my godchildren. So yes, I just get to, other than Kira, I just get to send them back when I'm overwhelmed. Mommies have to deal with it. They have to get over it.
Yes, absolutely. But anyways, just want to say welcome back, everybody. You know, for some of you who probably are brand new to the show and you're figuring out like, okay, we have not seen them in a while. Well, we had a lot of things to do in a while because life took over, right?
Yes, it did. Life needed to be addressed.
Yes.
And sometimes momentum is taking a step back so you can take 3 steps forward. So, yep.
Remember on your live broadcast yesterday, you mentioned we got to slow down to speed up.
Absolutely.
I've taken on that pretty, serious actually. So that has done me a lot of good. So anyway, folks, we're, the show that's all about building your tribe that will help you create the momentum and take action so that you can get results. One of the biggest things when we were talking about doing the show, we came up with so many ideas, but it always kept coming back with the momentum, right, Kim? Because you and I experienced that recently and we're like, it's sometimes challenging to build the momentum and we almost have to have a tribe. And this is the truth, folks. I hang out with Kim a lot and I'm like, we were pushing each other for momentum. Like there are days that we don't want to get up from bed. No, right? And we just have to be real, folks. We just have to create that momentum. And one of the biggest things, the momentum will help us to take the actions that will really make us grow and propel and move forward. Anyways, that being said, that is who we are. We're here to help you create your own momentum so you can take actions, so you get results, people. Today.
Yes, it's all about results. Results right now. Results right now.
I don't care what your results you're looking for, more clients, more money, more leads, but that's the
more
result.
Sleep. More sleep,
more rest.
Yeah, more rest,
right?
You know what? People undervalue rest. Without rest, there is no rest, there is no momentum.
Right. So for all of you who are watching, if you're watching on Facebook, my Facebook page, facebook.com/zavzen.com, or you can see Entrepreneurs That Soar on that page. If you want to join us and have a conversation right here, just go to momentumtribe.live, and we are here in the live broadcast room. Now, before we get started, I'm just going to let Kim introduce herself real quickly, just to remind everybody who she is. Go, Kim.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kim Kasparian, and I am known as the Success Genie. I run a growth coaching company. And when you get caught up in the doing of life, I'm the person who helps you reconnect to the being of life. Because only when you're in touch with the being can you make the mountains move and make the money that you desire and enjoy what I call that smooth train ride of secure, renewable, reliable revenues and rewards. So that's who I am. I am your Success Genie. You tell me what you want, and we are going to make it happen right now.
I just want to also add one more thing that we discovered. We discovered along the way. We. She's the Miss Clarity Kim. Like,
yes, I'm Clarity Kim.
She's the Clarity Kim in our tribe. She's known for that. If your head is filled with cobwebs and you're like, oh my God, there's so many things, logistics. I'm the logistics gal that give you those cobwebs. Go to Kim, because Kim will just take everything out and help you get, a clarity. Well, for me, folks, if you don't already know me, I'm always out there live streaming. And what I do is I work with you all experts out there who are just overwhelmed and just trying to get to your ideal clients. And you go to networking events, you're just like, oh my God, they're not working. But I help you get your ideal clients to you by leveraging live video strategies. So be sure to follow me at zavzen.com. That's enough about me, because I'm excited to bring the woman who we have on the show today. Whoop, whoop. Right. I'm just going to share my screen real quickly just to show you and remind everybody what the show is all about, so that this is what our topic is for today. Superwoman a mompreneur, because we often hear if you're a mom and you're an entrepreneur, sometimes the word superwoman comes into the same sentence. But really, is there really a thing about, being a superwoman? But we're gonna have this conversation, Kim. What do you think before we bring her on?
Yes, mompreneur, and superwoman. Yes, synonymous. Human doing, superhuman doing, because there's dadpreneurs too. So yes, we're gonna have that conversation, because I think when you become an entrepreneur, mompreneur, dadpreneur, you make the mistake of thinking it means superhuman doing. Yeah, it's not. Now it's the exact opposite, but we're going to chat about that.
Yes, we're going to chat about that. So, time for our guest people. And
Yay!
Meet Dr. Dorothy, everybody. This is Dr. Dorothy. We had her on our info page there, and I love what she wrote. This piece of her preview to her storyline. Right, this is on her website, and it says, "Meet Dr. Dorothy. Dreams for my future have been the driving force of my life. They have kept me alive, kept me sane, and allowed me to go from surviving to living." I love that part.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Yes. And she says, "I believe we each come to this life precisely to live our dreams. Our dreams are the vision of our soul's desires, our guiding force for us to be all that we are meant to be."
Amen.
Oh my God. Surviving to living. This is a great topic, and the great person to be discussing this topic, right? Because we all go from the surviving to living. That's what we want. So let's bring her on. Whoop, whoop. Hello. Welcome. How are you today?
I'm doing fantastic. Listening to all of this energy the two of you have really causes me to laugh and be filled. Even if I didn't have more than enough of my own, it increases my energy level. You two are so vibrant and alive. It's a joy. It's an absolute joy.
If we could just find a way to bottle it, Zeph. Wow, yes. You imagine we could power a town.
There are days, Dr. Dorothy, you know what I said, and I've been told that I should just jar up my energy and try to see if I can sell it.
Inject it.
Yeah. And inject it. And, just getting an empty jar, just the visualization, the feeling of like, this is from Zav, and inside that could say, experience my energy. And when they open it up, they go, yeah, I need this for a good day. So I have thought
better than a Red Bull.
Better than a Red Bull, because, sometimes you have those mementos and keepsakes from people that that you really like or idolize, and just by looking at those stuff, it just gives you a smile. So hey, maybe it'll work. I'm an entrepreneur, gotta make money. So welcome to the show. I know this is not your first time to the show, but I can't think of somebody else better than you to talk about this, right? This topic, superwoman or mompreneur. Before we get that, I just want to know what's up and going in your end of the world.
In my part of the world?
Yes.
So many things. Life is truly meant to be lived. So, it's expanding my brand, expanding my work. I've got a great mastermind going that I absolutely love for business women who really want to take their business and their leadership in business to the next level, because leadership is something many women have a hard time owning, especially entrepreneurs.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And so really taking that and supporting women entrepreneurs flying to the next level, that's been my piece. Is also moving into working as a consultant for executives who really need to look at their own leadership when it's being called to become either more expansive or more impactful, because a leadership position doesn't make you a leader.
Nope.
Because you go into McDonald's, it doesn't make you a hamburger.
Yep. Exactly. I love that analogy. I love that. Open up the eyes. So, let's go through some of the questions that I have kind of like, set up right here. Because I think, so for some of you folks who are watching this on Facebook, you probably would not be able to do this. But if you come back and watch the replay, if you can only stay with us a few minutes, that's quite okay. But if you come back and watch the replay on momentumtribe.life right here, where we just sent you the information, what it is in our livecast broadcast room, you can actually see questions listed. And if you only have time to replay one question, it's all timeline. So play that question's answer and you don't have to watch the entire show. That's just a little bit tip right there. So Dr. Dorothy, we have the first question here. how does the world define Superwoman? What are some of the expectations, and do they really exist?
The expectations do, unfortunately. It's what many, many women place on themselves. You know, how does the world define Superwoman? Somebody who is capable of being a multimillionaire entrepreneur, as well as somebody who's capable of being there full time for their children and their partner and their home and all the other things that go into living our lives. Absolutely unfair expectations that unfortunately so many women take on, which is what fills them with absolute guilt because they're not able to live some unrealistic expectation. We cannot give 100% to every element of our lives, and we need to find that balance and recognize that good is okay. And one of the things the two of you mentioned earlier was, if we don't take care of ourselves and do the rest, or do reflection or meditation, whatever word works for you, we don't have anything to give. We're giving from depletion rather than fullness. And that makes us and everybody in our lives sick. It doesn't serve us.
Kim, what about you? What's your take? Because I know you work with many mompreneurs who have their own business, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure you've heard it often enough, like, oh, you're a mom and you have your great own business and you're juggling all this. You're like a superwoman.
Yeah. Well, all right. So I'm going to take off a little bit from I'm going to go a little step further from Dr. Dorothy, because everything she said is correct. And this is where people get caught up. You're doing all that, and then you think you have to be Martha Stewart in home and in business, and then you think you've got to be totally coiffed and perfect, lipstick always on. You need to be a certain weight. Yeah. You need to be having certain level of energy, all the time. You can never get tired, can never have a bad day, and you got to look all, wonderful and keep the hubby or the wife happy, either way.
Yeah.
And you've got to look fabulous at all times and be ready to do whatever anybody needs. And that's what I think, I don't know. We live on the East Coast. I'm a born baby New Yorker. So I think I was born fast, right? So everything's fast. But it's the expectation. I think what makes that Superwoman thing is that we have to do everything perfectly. And if it's not perfect, it's not good.
Yeah.
And you know what? Some days not everyone's thing is going to get done, and the kids will live, the hubby will live, you'll live, the business will survive. And I know that's for me, that was the stress.
Yeah.
I've got to be perfect. If it's not perfect, I can't go on air. If it's not perfect, I can't show up and speak to these people if it's not perfect.
Yeah.
If I waited for perfect, I'd still be back in the womb. So I don't know.
That is so true. Here's another thing. And I think I wanted to ask Dr. Dorothy, because you kind of have traveled the world a little bit and work with, people from around the world. Do you feel, and piggyback on what Kim just said right here, do you feel that part of the culture, or whoever's culture is, there is this expectation, like, mompreneurs are superwoman. We expect you to be superwoman because you're juggling everything. Do it already. Do you feel culture has something to do with it, because it's all the mindset, right? So do you feel that there's truth in that a little bit too?
Culture has everything to do with it. And it isn't just that we're Americans. We're Northeastern. We're Northeast America. The Northeast has its own culture that is different from the rest of the American culture. Right. But having worked with people from different continents and having lived overseas for 10 years, in other realities, in other worlds, a mompreneur can have her business, but it's seen as a family business. Even though it is mom, it's all about mom. And how can everybody pitch in and help mom? And it's not something we're taught in this culture. It's still a mixed message about moms being mompreneurs. There's still a mixed culture here. Is that appropriate or not appropriate? And the women who have enough sense of self or ambition or drive to create something for themselves oftentimes have to justify it, whether to themselves or to other people, which is unfair. And so changing it to, I'm doing this for me, but also for my family.
Yeah.
Now it says the family unit is my community. How can the whole family help make this business work? And
Yeah.
when I was growing up with my kids, I said, it's us. It's my two little ones and myself. We're a team. How are we going to do this? Which meant that once they were old enough to do their own laundry, they could reach the knobs, they could make it work. They did it and helped mom so that mom could work to make the money to buy those sneakers for the soccer team.
That's how I was raised too.
For the track. And so it became a family business, if you will.
Yeah.
That allows us to know, one of the things you said, Kim, that good some days is terrific.
Yeah, it's fabulous.
Do all of it good today. And tomorrow I may do half of it phenomenal. That's okay, because the balls are in the air and we're moving.
Yeah.
I will not be perfect in everything. And those who truly want to work with me don't need me perfect all the time. And when my babies know we're doing this, who now they're grown adults, but when they know I'm doing it, and they know that no matter what I'm doing, I love them unconditionally and I will always have their back, even if I come into the room because of something I did, I've got their back. All that pressure of being perfect can go, of being Superwoman can disappear.
I think a good topic of conversation, because I know when I was the generation of the latchkey kids, you know, mom worked full time and here's the key, it's under the mat and let yourself in, and don't let anyone in, but you can watch TV, have your something snack, have your homework done by 5 o'clock when I come home. And, we'd either help dad start dinner or mom start dinner. So that's the way we were raised. It's like, amazing, we're still here. Right. It's like, today, what? Your 12-year-old by themselves at home with their little sibling. We did it. But now I'm watching, the millennials and the parents of the millennials are getting a lot of feedback. There's stereotypes called helicopter moms, right? The kids, I know my niece, I don't know where my sister grew up, was not in my house, 12 years old, and she's just learning now to clean. She's responsible for cleaning her room. And, I'm like, what is going on? By 12 years old, I was managing the house and had my own job on the side. But it's a different culture. I'm wondering, and then we're in the era of social media, Beyonce, Housewives of Beverly Hills, Atlanta, where they look fabulous. Even when they're scrubbing their floor, but actually they don't scrub their floor; they have somebody for that. So, I wonder, with the helicopter mom syndrome, and social media and TV. I don't know how these young moms are doing it, because I thought it was tough when my mom was raising us, but there's a lot more pressure. Now it's not so foreign for women to have their own businesses now. It's more like everyone has their own business now.
But doesn't it put that on us, Kim, as young mothers, which I'm not any longer, but on us as young mothers, as young women, to recognize that one of the things you said is that this was your world. It was a given. Mom is working to support us. Mom is helping the paycheck.
Us.
Mom is the paycheck, or mom is working to support us. Then you don't feel I'm abandoned, I'm alone, I'm neglected. I may be home, but mom is out there for me. There's a different piece there. And the helicopter moms, what I see more times than not is the helicopter moms either believe they are supposed to be a perfect mother, which means their child never has a need that isn't addressed before it's even felt. Or the helicopter mom is that woman who has no permission to have a self.
Well, this is, I think, a conversation, because I do get, I watch it in the, on all the talk shows. I see it. And a lot of these kids, God bless them, my nieces and my godchildren, they are more booked than the president of the United States. I mean, they've got so much going on. And, she's like my sister from another mister. They make it all happen. They're very well coordinated. And we did too. We had a lot of stuff, but not like that I'm seeing today, like where every minute of their day is structured. We used to go out, I used to have my dance, 4 times a week, but then in the meantime, we'd go out and play. And, And with technology, this texting and the everything, the kids, social media, they don't know how to have a conversation. They don't know how to have a fight face to face. Social media culture is so foreign to the way I grew up.
But don't you think we're using some of the ways of our culture as permission not to do things?
I think it's totally enabled. I think it's totally.
You can have your cell phones, but when it comes up to the dinner table,
they're off. They should be off.
Not in the kitchen. They're not.
And I'm guilty. And I'm guilty of that too. I'm guilty of checking messages. But it's a lost art. So,
does it have to be?
Well, no. Well, we have to bring it back. And I think, like what you're talking about, we're in it together. I think I call it the mom guilties and the dad guilties too, because dads are usually working full time plus doing something on the side, plus trying to be taxi drivers. My dad was Mr. Mom. He worked a full time job and was Mr. Mom the rest of the time. So my mother could follow her dreams and do all this stuff that she could do. I think it really is about communication and, having the family feel like they're in it with you, because otherwise it becomes adversarial.
Right.
I can remember my sister and I, before my mom got this concept, right before she had to go out, she was an Mary Kay person and a director. And it was, even my father was guilty of this. The minute she's all getting ready for her show, she's getting all pumped up to make the ladies feel great and have a great show. One of us would invariably, unconsciously, I'm sure, have a meltdown like 20 minutes before she's leaving. And, tear her heart right out of her chest. She's like, but mommy's got to go. She's got people. No, don't go. And it wasn't until she got us on board, like, oh, you want that new bike or you want to go do that? Well, come on, we got to make the money. And when she figured that out, we were pushing her out the door. Hey, Ma, you got a show booked tonight? You got a show booked? Yeah. Dad's like, hey, hon, you got something booked tonight? Yeah, I'll take the kids. No problem. So I think you're onto something, Dr. Dorothy. And I think, I know we're kind of going out of order, but that's one of the strategies that can help entrepreneurial moms and dads too, release the guilt. That they're not abandoning their kids for the money. They're doing something that'll help the family come closer together and, possibly create some great memories that they're always going to have and share.
Right.
I think that's really important.
And if she's called to become a mompreneur, and she's following that, she has so much more vibrancy, aliveness, and joy.
Sure. When your needs are met, you're a lot more pleasant to the people around you.
A lot nicer. Hello. So, I just want to do this conversation is awesome because I just want to do a quick shout out right now to Heidi, Lottie, who's actually watching on Facebook right now. And this is what Lottie just said. She says, this is a huge conversation right now in Ireland. So I will go find Lottie all the way there from Ireland. Thanks for tuning in, girl. And she says a huge topic. And she's also saying we have to make choices, ballet or sports, chips or ice cream. We all have so much these days. We have forgotten how to ration for fun rather than the overload. Whoop, whoop. Thank you.
Well said, Miss Ireland.
Top of the morning to you. I know. It's just like, hey, decide already. Make decisions. Because I was raised like that too. Being Asians, just like you said, that was really, Oh
yeah, you guys are more structured than God. You're more scheduled than God.
If we didn't start helping out at an early age, we're set to do that. And I totally get it because I remember coming back, even though I think I was 7, I had keys to, my own house. Mom was at work. She was not a mompreneur, but she was at work. She was a working mom and couldn't come back half the day to, we didn't have a nanny at that time. So I had to show myself in, and she probably has lunch ready. And I do that all by myself at 7. And, I'll take my own naps. So we're kind of accustomed to that. That's the cultural part, I think. It's a lot of that mindset. And as we grow into womanhood, and I saw my mom, I saw my aunts, probably doing everything. And I'm thinking, really, and you're right. That is culture mindset.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but here's the deal. I watched my mom be the super work 2 jobs, be on the church council, be the liaison and caterer for my teacher at the time had a ballet company here in Connecticut. and do that. Like was the Martha Stewart before Martha Stewart really became Martha Stewart, and do all this stuff and make sure we got everything we wanted and make sure the house was, and I said, oh, okay, that's the way to be. By 22, just trying on that persona, ended up with a nervous breakdown so bad, I needed to spend 6 months in intensive therapy just to let go of the fact that I don't have to be that, because to me, if I wasn't that, I wasn't successful, and not being successful was not an option. And I come from an Armenian background where we're just wonderfully dysfunctionally enmeshed, right? It's not a we, we're not a I. There is no I in Armenian, right? It's we. So, and if you make we look bad, forget it. You misbehave, make your family look bad. Oh, that's unacceptable. So anything that they couldn't deal with in the Army, no, we don't have that. Oh, you're having a bad day. It's okay. I'll feed you. Just anything they couldn't deal with, like, oh, you're having a nervous breakdown. We don't have those. Like, well, we do now. So add that to the culture. How do we deal with that? And food will not help. Neither will Windex or Vicks and coffee. No, it's a little bit bigger than that. So it's the guilt is not so much also personal, right? You love your babies. You don't want to leave your babies. You feel bad. It's cultural. What is the tribe going to think about you? And when you live in a tribal culture, which, there's many Polish, Italian, Asian, and, Asian, a lot of European cultures, forget about what you want. It's about what the tribe needs. And a lot of women are operating above their natural capacity, not because of desire, but because they're trying to keep up with the expectations that have been handed down to them, or that they've interpreted, misinterpreted.
Yeah.
And that's tough, because if you live in a tribal culture, and I'd even say this culture, the American culture with the MTV and all this reality show, we got to look alike, otherwise we don't fit in. It's scary. It's scary saying, you know what, I'm going to slow my roll. I'm going to take a step back, take care of me. Because the fear is the world will move on without me, or I'll be out of the norm. I won't be considered successful anymore if I slow down. That happens a lot in corporate. If you're not moving, you're losing.
Yeah. I also see another piece to that too, though, is that when I was growing up in South Boston, because it's very Irish Catholic, I mean, many were walking with the brogue. All right. It was a blend of Ireland and American Irish, which is sometimes very contradictory and sometimes
yes.
And when we had church on Sunday, everything in the world stopped, and that was it. So we were required to stop in the whole tribe, in all of the children, because the Irish tend to have more than one.
Lots of children, yep, big families.
Like a ladder with all of these kids in height sitting in the pew.
Sound of music.
Right. But you stopped. The thing was, we stopped the running. Everything stopped because of religion for a period of time. Now, what you did later may have had absolute opposition to the religion you pretend to be a part of. But
that's a different conversation.
You stopped.
Yes. Yeah. Stores were closed on Sundays.
And that was it. And so there was an expectation in the culture that as fast as you go, you take time to stop.
Yeah, that's gone.
That's
gone.
Any longer. The stopping isn't there. The recognition of just prayer or meditation, but now mindfulness is coming in. So mindfulness replaces the old meditation, if you will. It's a non-religious method of the same.
Yeah,
stop it.
It's
yourself.
It's all about permission.
Right.
Women specifically, not saying that it's not just women, but in this conversation, women need permission
to stop,
to slow down. And it's very difficult in corporate. My sister works for the corporation. It's one of the biggest corporations in the country. She works in the utility industry, and she's a single mom. She works sometimes 7 to 7 at night. She's a 45-minute drive from Tampa to where she lives in Newport Richey. And she's got vacation banked from she's got more vacation than there is peanuts in Georgia. And do you know, anytime she wants to take a day or she gets supposed to get comp to flex time because she works overtime because she's a team lead, they frown upon it. My parents went through some health issues. She lives down in Florida with them. And like my father broke his hip, right? It was an emergency. I'm sorry, I have to go to the hospital. My father's just broke his hip. My daughter's with him. She was 10 at the time. And because of her relationships within the department, they let her go. But if it was anybody else, they would have frowned upon that. And she had actual personal time and an ample amount to do. And she was stressing out. I swear to God. And then my mother had an issue with it. She was in ICU, went to the emergency room. We walked away, and now they have her in ICU. We didn't know what was happening. She was more stressed out, not about my father who had to go for emergency surgery with a hip at 80-something years old. And we were all stressed out about my mother being in ICU when she was perfectly fine, a couple hours before. No, it was about what was work going to do to her, because she was here in the hospital doing what she was supposed to be doing. And worried about how much blood they were going to take out of her or how many limbs they were going to remove from her body because she stepped out of work to take care of her family. But almost sent her down to the psychiatric ward, not about my parents, even though she was freaked out about that. It was about what's going to happen to her job, or what are they going to think of her, right? Perception when she gets back. So if she gets perceived as not on the fast track or not giving it her all, she loses her place. So, and that's a big thing right now.
It's a big thing. Yeah.
But isn't that why so many became mompreneurs? So they don't have to work with organizations that have absolutely inhumane requirements.
Yeah, but here's the challenge. They take that mentality, right? The boss is not, the boss is no longer that, but they bring that attitude to their business. And their mind becomes that critical person. So you can take the woman out of corporate, but but it's a shift, it's a journey. And Dr. Dorothy, because we work with the women all the time who step out of that, and they create that same hierarchy in their brain,
right?
And then they treat themselves the way they were treated in corporate, and they don't fully enjoy the perks and the flexibility of mompreneurship. They don't know how to bet. It's like, because you can have it all. As a mompreneur, you can have it all. The work still needs to get done. And sometimes you're doing that work 10 o'clock at night when the kids are sleeping. But the joy of being a mompreneur is you can stop the clock when you need to be at that child's play, or be on the ball field, or take that extra time after school to work with the children on their homework. You can. But it's knowing that, how are you going to balance it? And more importantly, that you can do it. You just maybe don't know how. So that's what I find the experience is when they shift from corporate into entrepreneur. They don't always release the mindset.
Oh my God. This conversation is just like Lottie said, it's big everywhere. It's big in Ireland, it's big here in the USA. But ladies, this is a great topic, but we're at the end of the time. But I just want to share one more last tip and get one more last tip from Dr. Dorothy before she leaves. There's a question for, what's your tip for savvy mompreneurs who want to really create momentum that helps keep them take action and get results? Because we have talked about all the challenges, but if there's something simple in about a minute, if you can tell us, what could you, with all your wisdom, descend of the women of these all mompreneurs, because we're talking all about momentum on the show, right? That's keeping up a constant momentum can be a challenge for mompreneurs because they can do too much or too little of it. What's your take and what's your last tips?
I would say to you that for many of the women for whom that is a problem, it is because what they are doing is trying to do it alone. We need other mompreneurs out there. We need other women entrepreneurs who are out there trying to do it the same, because we have somebody we can talk to who understands the pressure, who understands the call to be perfect. And when we have somebody walking with us, we have permission not to do it alone. And if we have a husband or a wife, they are going to support us in their way. But the mompreneur partner, if you will, that other woman out there with the business, that other mom out there with the business, will understand. And when you can support each other, you're seen. And when you're seen and affirmed, you have permission to keep it in perspective. When you're exhausted, they can pick you up because they understand how you're ready to collapse. They also can laugh with you. If you can't laugh, if you can't take time, to me, humor and faith, I've said it for my entire career, for 30 years, humor and faith are what get us through. We need to be able to laugh at our own craziness. We need to laugh at the insanity we create in our lives, and other women can help us do that.
Yeah, and if you can't laugh at yourself, you ain't going to make it.
So whether it's a networking group or a small group of girlfriends, you go out every 2 weeks even.
Or just hang out right here like this, right? This is the tribe showing up.
This is always great. But Dr. Dorothy's bringing up a good point. Right. You have, because I'm famous for making a lot of money in my pajamas. If I could live in my pajamas, certain days I put the trench coat on and I go out in my pajamas with my big glasses on. I love my pajamas. But here's the deal. Especially if you're a mompreneur, okay, it's for all women, but you got to get out of the house. Okay. And this is great. And this is what makes it easy and wonderful. So you don't have to feel like you can't get on the train. But no, you need out of the house, put the makeup on, lipstick on, something other than pajamas on, and get out and be with other people.
Right.
So, because Angelus will be like, hon, I've been working, right? He goes, I know you're working and I know you're doing great things, but you need to get dressed and get out somewhere. Go call up one of your girlfriends, date nights on Friday, but you need to get out of here, because it's just not healthy. Right. And you love your kids, but we need some adult conversation sometime. And
so
they don't need to see us have a meltdown, right? Our meltdowns are breakthroughs, but they don't understand that. So get out of the house.
Donna Marie's watching also all the way from the UK, and she says hello, and she says great tips, yes, and she says watching while juggling mom stuff. Good girl. All right, everybody. I just want to say thank you so much, Dr. Dorothy, for being here, for taking.
Yeah, I love you, Dr. Dorothy.
And we hope to see you back, which I know we will. But for all of you out there who's watching, just want to share something real quickly with you. Our shows are here Wednesdays, 11:30 a.m. New York, or 8:30 a.m. LA, or 4:30 p.m. UK. You can watch us on MomentumTribe.live, or you can go on Facebook.com/ZevZan.com to watch the live broadcast. And you know what, folks, for all the other information you want to learn about our tribe, go ahead to We Are Momentum Tribe. The other thing, if you're right here in the Crowdcast room with us, or later on for those who are watching us on Facebook, you can come back to Momentum Tribe Live here, and there's a free guide that I'm putting in. Whoop, whoop, right there. You're looking at the screen in Crowdcast. There's a green button. It says free guide to creating your success vehicle. Now, go ahead and download there or get access to this guide, because it will help you, because there are 3 things. This is actually shared by our co-host, right? My co-host right here, Kim Kasparian. Go there, or for some of you on Facebook, if you don't see that button, just go ahead and go to wearemomentumtribe.com and download your free guide. All right, everybody. I just want to say thank you, Dr. Dorothy, and have a great day, everybody. We hope to see you in the next episode of the Momentum Tribe Mojo Show. Bye, everybody. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
See ya. Let me just put this up, and here we go. Bye.